Hi, I'm Dr. David Smith here at Baylor Animal Hospital, and we are talking about traveling with your pet. It's coming up to the holidays, and everybody's going to be getting in a car, planes, trains, boats, whatever, and you're going to go to your relatives or wherever to have a nice holiday. However, when you take your pets, you have to have certain things. You go on an airplane, you're going to need one of these. It's called a health certificate. Health certificates are important because, number one, you can't get on the plane without them, and they also will be good for going internationally. In other words, if you are going to a place in the United States, you just come to your veterinarian, they do an exam, fill out a health certificate, that you then present to the folks on the airplane, and they can get you one, and that's the end of it. If you're leaving the country, let's say you're going to Canada, or you're taking a trip to Mexico, or maybe perhaps Europe, you need to have an international health certificate, a whole different ballgame. You have to leave plenty of time because it has to go from here to be signed by the USDA veterinarian and come back. So you're going to have to allow at least a week or more to get an international health certificate. Again, if you're leaving the country, you cannot take the pet without the certificate. They will not allow it. And I can't tell you how many people have come back either from an airplane into our hospital on a Saturday morning and said, I got to have a health certificate because they wouldn't let me on the plane. Or I've had people going into Canada and they had to scout around for a veterinarian on the US side to get them a health certificate so they can go into Canada. These health certificates usually are necessary to be done within a 10-day period before travel, although the international health certificates, some of those can be done as early as 30 days before you go. Now, traveling with your pet, like we had talked in the summer, you have to have, first of all, in an airplane, you have to have the right carrier. You know, something that may go under the seat, or possibly something where you pay an extra amount of money, you can take the animal out and have them on a seat next to you. Number two, you're going to have to understand whether or not your pet is going to travel well. Now, if they've been in the car, they go to sleep, they have a wonderful time, you're safe, no problems. However, if your dog or cat constantly is irritated, possibly whining, crying, barking, obviously in an airplane that's not going to go very well, so you may need to have some sort of tranquilizer. Again, you have to talk to your doctor about that and see if you need it, or if, for instance, your dog gets nauseous in the car, throws up within a, say, 15, 20, 30-minute period, there are drugs that we can control vomiting for as long as 24 hours with one pill. Again, that's something you need to talk about with your doctor. You definitely need to have your vaccines updated. Here we are in Florida. We require certain or suggest certain vaccines. Obviously, your rabies, your distemper, your parvo, your adenovirus, those are your core vaccines. But, for instance, Lyme vaccine. Lyme vaccine is something we really don't do much with in Florida because we do not see a lot of Lyme originating here. However, let's say you're going to New England and you're going to see your friends in Boston or in Massachusetts and New Hampshire. This is a vaccine that's important because Lyme is very prevalent in that area. It probably hasn't gotten cold enough to knock out all the ticks. So it's a concern, and you need to get this vaccine at least 1 month before you travel. So if you're leaving town within the next couple of weeks to go to an area that may have Lyme, certainly that's something you want to look at. Likewise with other vaccines that we have, leptospirosis, I think that's pretty general throughout the country, coronavirus, canine influenza, which is not a bad problem here, but is in the Northeast. Those things have to be considered. And last, you want to make sure that you have all of your supplies for your pet, because you cannot necessarily guarantee that when they get to their destination, they'll be able to find those. So, obviously drugs, if your dog's on heart medication or kidney medication or liver medication, be sure you have a good stock of that and take it with you. If your dog or cat is on a specific diet, very important to take it with you, because sometimes you'll get to a location they may not have, say, ID or CD or a specific diet that you may be on. If you run out, it's usually a very difficult problem to switch back to a different diet. And I get a call almost every year from somebody, they say, well, we can't find this, what do we do? And then that becomes the problem. So Make sure you have plenty of food, the proper diets, proper medications, proper carrying material, and also, of course, all your documentation, health certificates, vaccines are all up to date, and you should have a fabulous holiday. Happy Thanksgiving from all of us here at Bayreuth Animal Hospital.